procrastination is a lot about avoidance. I think that's
Mm.
really what it is. I don't think it's a time management issue. I think it's about avoidance. And I think it's about, in particular, avoiding overwhelming feelings. I mean, I'm thinking about sort of academic procrastination because it's something that I've had some experience with. Um, Luckily, not personal experience with, but just in helping people through it. Is what happens is you've got an assignment, it feels overwhelming. And so what you do with an overwhelming feeling is you decide to avoid it. And that is a short-term way of managing a problem. It's a maladaptive way, but in the moment it works, because if you've got a huge paper to write and you're feeling overwhelmed and you say, well, I could sign on, look at the syllabus and start working on the paper, or I could watch Netflix. The minute you decide to say, you know what, I'm just going to watch an episode of my new show, you immediately feel better. Your body feels better. You've just avoided an unpleasant experience. And so you get a positive feedback loop there. It's like, oh, good, that worked. I feel better. The problem is that when your show is over, you keep on having to do the behavior again and again, because it doesn't actually solve the problem. Of course, it just makes it
Right.
worse.
And dig a deeper hole, right?
And dig a deeper hole. And then what happens is you feel ashamed.
Mm.
And then you, in addition to the overwhelm of like, oh God, what is it going to take to write this paper? Then you feel like I'm a piece of shit, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so then you've got two big negative emotions to avoid. So then you watch another show, and after that, you've got less time to work on the paper, and you feel worse about yourself. So actually unwrapping procrastination takes a tremendous amount of self-compassion, because
Oh,
the
wow.
very first thing you have to do is forgive yourself. You have to say, I'm having a really hard time with this. I'm really struggling. I deserve compassion. And get out of this rut of like, I'm such a piece of shit, not, whatever, the kinds of things people say to themselves. And often kind of things that, to be truthful, that parents will say to their kid who's, procrastinating, what's wrong with you? Don't you understand? You're going to fail out of college or whatever. It's like, that doesn't actually help. I can tell you from personal experience, it's absolutely impossible to avoid saying that if you're a
Yeah.
parent of a procrastinator, but it doesn't help. What helps is saying, this is really hard. This is overwhelming. You deserve, compassion. You deserve a hug. You deserve, some comfort. And then let's sit down together and take 15 minutes and just look at the assignment. That's all we have to do right now. And then after you've looked at the assignment, let's go have a cup of tea. Then we'll go back and we'll come up with a plan for how we do the assignment or something like that. So you have to help people find self-compassion.